Yeah, we're going to go live with David. Welcome to WSLR, y'all.
Thank you for having us. This is fun.
Yes, my pleasure. Crawfish Monica called me yesterday on the phone. She says, guess who's in town playing outside of Whole Foods? You had no idea. It's David and Roselyn playing at Whole Foods. I said, I'll be right there. So of course, I went right there, and much to my happiness that y'all were there playing, it brought back all these memories from New Orleans, seeing y'all playing the French Quarter. And
we've done that a lot.
yeah. So
actually,
Goodbye, Luther.
Yeah. Bye, Luther. Yeah. We've played the streets in a lot of places, but we've played concerts in more places than we played streets.
Okay, right.
Good.
Right. I think of that. I think of that image, of course, but I know you obviously play it beyond and beyond everywhere.
She was interviewing Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
And asked him
for WWOZ in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Nice. Station. And,
right.
And she asked him, what would you recommend for somebody who wants to be a musician? Well, he said, take business courses and don't give up your day job. So the streets is our day job.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Well, we ran out of jobs because every time you get a really good job and then somebody says, hey, I've got a 2-month tour for you in Europe, by my job.
Yeah.
And after a while, your resume looks pretty good for music, but pretty bad for anything else. And people sort of go... Our daughter, Arlie, ran into that, too. She was working for Planned Parenthood, and she kept taking off to go here and taking off to go there. And finally they said, Arlie, we really need somebody full-time, not part-time. Could you train your own replacement?
Wow.
So we figured that if we play on the street, then we got a steady job.
Definitely. Yeah. The people, the tourists that love you, I know that,
Thank you.
All out there.
Yeah.
I did Puff the Magic Dragon for a lady and her kid, and they loved that.
Right. Sarasota was welcoming as well, so that was cool to see.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
It was very sweet. We had a great time.
Yeah.
And then we went to the folk festival last night.
Okay.
And that was marvelous, too. And it was really strange because I'm blanking on his name.
Okay.
Bing,
right.
Oh.
Bing.
Fucked.
Bing Futch.
Okay.
F-U-C-H-T-E.
T.
Okay.
F-U-C-H-T.
Okay.
What were you going to say about him?
He had been in New Orleans playing with a friend of ours, Gina Forsyth.
Okay.
And so when I was asking him for one of his CDs, he said, "Oh, I just sent them back to the camper."
Yeah.
He said, "But go online and I'll send you the MP3 for the song, because the song I wanted was I'm Crazy and I Like It."
Nice.
And that was too much. I just couldn't get over that song. So, and we got to talking. He was telling us about being in New Orleans. And Gina happens to be a really good friend of ours.
Okay.
We were on a compilation of music from Lady Fest New Orleans.
Okay. The
very first compilation from there, and then we've got out 2 now. And so we expect to get out another one this year. So it should be fun.
All right.
So that's something you can. I'll send you a couple actually.
That sounds great.
Sounds like, yeah.
Super.
It's a bunch of really marvelous women for the Lady Fest.
Right.
And Gina, one of my favorite songs of hers is Sweet and Sunny South, Where I Was Born.
Oh.
That you will die laughing.
All right.
That song is just so great. Why don't we do a funny song?
That sounds good.
How about Fruit Salad?
I was exactly thinking of that.
Our minds work together.
Similar minds slip in the same slime.
David and Roselyn live, Louisiana Gumbo Show.
Oops, what happened? Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. doesn't give a fig about me. Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Can't shake him loose from his tree.
Hey, I said it would be peachy to go off on a fair.
Well, when you get hungry and thirsty, I'm right here with my pear. The apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Doesn't give a fig about me.
Play that, baby.
Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Doesn't give a fig about me. Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Can't shake him loose from his tree.
Oh, we could plumb the depths of passion if we could go out on a date.
But then the man goes off and it's the pits while I wait. The apple of my eye is driving me bananas. He doesn't give a fig about me. Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Doesn't give a fig about me. Apple of my eye is driving me bananas. Can't shake it loose from his tree. Hey, you're raising so much cane, Papa, you're being a dope. Let's run away and marry.
I can't elope.
The apple of my eye is driving me bananas. He doesn't give a fig about me. The guy's a lemon. He doesn't give a fig about me. I think he's fruity. He doesn't give a big fat fig about me. I'm melancholy. He doesn't give a big fat fig about me.
Nice, very nice. The pure joy that emanates from your music and humor.
When we do that in concerts,
Yes.
we ask people to take a piece of paper and a pen and write down all of the fruits that they can hear. They only need to write each fruit down once,
Right.
and there are about 16 or so of them. Most people get about 11. Everybody gets apple and bananas, you know.
Yeah.
And
But the sneaky one's
yeah.
like, wow. Oh. That's a free one.
Yeah.
You didn't say it, so they only got part of it. Anyhow.
We learned that at the Sawdust Festival in Laguna Beach, California.
Yeah, a friend of ours is a fabulous jeweler. That's how she makes her living, but she writes these unbelievably outrageous songs.
Yeah.
And one of them is my favorite love song.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
David and Roselyn, live. WSLR.
WSLR.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for
Yeah.
finding us the other
We're
day.
going to do some of our originals too, but these are songs that nobody else knows
Yeah.
because.
So you guys get out and play a lot of festivals as well. You get out of New Orleans as well.
Oh yes,
A lot.
Oh yeah, we've been as far away. We've played the Puri Jazz Festival in Finland. We've played
Wow.
the Byron Bay Blues Festival in Byron Bay, Australia.
Yes, yes.
We've played. We toured with Zucchero, who was the biggest blues star in Italy. Although it didn't really sound like blues to me, but. It was fun. We were touring on one of those fabulous tour buses and staying in 5-star hotels. And I was
Nice.
like, yeah, I could do this.
Yeah. Get used to that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I could get used to it.
Do this one for
This one's dedicated to our host and hostess, the Ginsberg-Klemmt.
Yes, thanks so much, Erica and Akim. Thank you so much.
I woke up today, saw the way you really are. Said love is blind, well I've been pretty blind so far. I opened my eyes and then I knew, finally saw the real you.
Thought you were beautiful, thought you were so beautiful, and I still do.
I woke up today, suddenly I was free. I was lost in a dream, living a fantasy. Opened my eyes,
Then I knew, finally saw the real you. Dreamed you to share my life, I wanted you to share my life, and I still do. You were afraid this new love would fade, you'd be left all alone. I came down to earth, I still think you're worth everything I'll ever own.
Woke up today and I saw you in a brand new light. I'm so glad to say I know what I felt was right.
Somewhere near the end of time, if you ask if I love you, I'll tell you in so many ways.
I'll show you in 1,000 ways that
I still do.
You were afraid this
New love would fade, and you'd be left all alone. But I came down to earth, I still think you're worth everything I'll ever own.
Well, I woke up today, saw the way you really are. Said love is blind, well I've been pretty blind so far.
Opened my eyes and then I knew, finally saw the real you. Thought you were beautiful, thought you were so beautiful, and I still do.
What a beautiful tune. Wow.
Yeah. It's sort of like making love every time you sing it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It really is.
So touching.
Erica's over there crying.
Got me too. Wow.
People been, together for a while.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
and you
for
guys,
people who need to reconnect and remind yourself of what it felt like when you were first,
Right.
I remember that first kiss.
Oh.
55 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
And don't know why I didn't ask her to marry me right then.
Because of the color thing, mostly.
Oh.
Oh, I'm serious. Well, black and white in 1959 was not exactly as prominent as it is today.
Right.
Matter of fact, David's parents disinherited him. I cost him about $1 million.
Oh.
It's terrible. So here we are on the street.
True love is hard to find. So how long have you been in New Orleans?
We first went there in 1963.
Yeah, but that was on a voter registration drive. We came down here with the CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, to register voters, not just black voters, but poor voters, because black voters and poor people, whatever their race, ought to be voting together. That's for sure.
We had some hoops to go through, so we had to learn the hoops and then teach them the hoops, and they never knew which hoop they were going to get.
Yeah, they had 5 different, the same information. They just had it arranged differently.
Wow.
So on one, it would have your last name first. The other would have your first name first. The other one would have your address first. Another one would have the state first. The thing was that they wanted to make sure that you were that you could read and write, for one thing, in order to register. Which, you can educate yourself by listening. Blind people don't read or write, and yet they can educate themselves and they could vote.
Exactly.
So, my stepfather used to say, "Book smart and plumb foolish," and a lot of people like that, right?
Sure,
Everybody knows somebody like that.
Sure.
But the thing was that you could get killed doing that. And we had 2 kids already. Our first 2 kids, Lee and Adrian, were 1 and 3. And we left them with my mother up in Michigan.
My wonderful mother-in-law. She was a great mother-in-law.
And we came down Louisiana and almost got arrested in Mississippi before we got there. But we could tell stories all day.
I'm
we
sure.
won't tell them. We'll make some more music.
That sounds good. David and Roselyn.
When I get drunk, tell me who's going to carry me home. When I get drunk, tell me who's going to carry me home. I'm sober now, but I won't be sober long. Every time I think of that man of mine, I say every time I think of that man of mine, I guess so doggone drunk people don't give a damn what I find. When I get drunk, tell me who's gonna carry me home. When I get drunk, tell me who's gonna carry me home. I'm sober now, but I won't be sober long.
Got me guessing, yes, about things I wanna know.
What you wanna know, what you wanna know, what you wanna know.
She's got me guessing, oh, about things I wanna know.
Don't guess, ask me, I'll tell you something.
She's got me doing
Now, wasn't ever saying, could that be David? You've done just about everything once. When I get drunk, tell me who's gonna carry me home. When I get drunk, tell me who's gonna carry me home. I'm sober now, but I won't be sober long. I'm sober now, but I won't be sober long. And if you want to hear David's fantastic solos on that, he does a couple of them. Get the CD, Praha Live.
Well, I'm sorry, what's it? Yeah, very nice.
That song was written by Eddie Guitar Burns from Belzoni, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he lives in Detroit for most of his life.
Wow, really nice.
We had a little New Orleans kick to it.
Okay, okay. And tell us the title again. What's the title again?
When I Get Drunk.
Right. Well, off of what CD?
Oh, Praha Live.
Praha Live, right, okay.
Yeah, it's
right,
a show we
right.
did in the Czech Republic, and they call their capital Praha.
Okay.
The Germans call it Prague.
Right.
And so we thought we would name the CD, since we recorded it there at a live show we were doing at the
Mississippi Blues Mud Festival.
Mississippi Mud Blues Festival.
Okay.
One or the other.
Okay. Okay.
At the Club Zelazny, which is down in the basement of Praha, and it was like we were 3 stories below ground.
Nice.
And
wow.
I thought it would be cool, like you go in the basement to get to it's cool.
Sure.
It was hot. I wore out a dress every set. And fortunately, I brought clothes with me. 'Cause we were there for 3 nights, and we did 3 shows a night. And I had to have a different dress on for every show, because the one that I came off the stage with was soaking wet.
Wow.
I literally was wringing it out and hanging it up.
Wow.
It was amazing.
So you guys are playing Jazz Fest this year again as well?
Yep.
Back
we'll
in
be
New
at the
Orleans?
Kids Tent this year, yeah.
Okay.
Kids Tent opening Friday. I'm not sure, last Friday in April.
Oh, it's the last show. The last show at the tent that last Friday.
Okay, we're competing with all the big acts.
The ones, because the Kids Tent closes early. I'm not sure if it's 5 o'clock I think it's 5 o'clock. It might be 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. But it closes before all the other, so the parents will come and get their kids.
Right.
And they don't have to, they can't leave them there. They aren't supposed to leave them there by themselves anyhow, but kids that are big enough to run around have a tendency to go back to the Kids Tent as opposed to wherever their parents are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know one like that. Around station
somewhere. Yeah. Erica brought her daughter down. Went very nice.
Yeah, you ought to get her to play when she comes back in.
Okay.
Ask her to play the cup song for you.
Okay.
It's really terrific. She brought a cup with her so she could do it. I told her she ought to do the cup song.
So
Nice.
next time we were in New Orleans was in 75.
Actually, we went to New Orleans. We were actually outside of Baton Rouge in Iberville, registering voters.
63,
yeah, in '63, and
didn't
we
spend
came
any
down.
time in New Orleans.
Yeah, we did. We came down to New Orleans and for rest and recuperation from being up there.
Right.
And we rested. We recuperated because they sent us to different places. We weren't together. David was up in Hammond.
Never been together.
David was in Hammond, and I was in New Roads, and we were registering voters because they were nervous about having an interracial couple in the same parish for fear that we'd get killed.
Oh,
Fortunately, we didn't.
Wow.
David got arrested up in Amid.
I did.
For what?
Eating in a black restaurant.
Wow. Wow. What year was this?
63.
Okay.
See, we go back a ways.
Yeah. Right.
And when we came back to New Orleans the second time, all the signs that say colored only for the ugly old dirty water fountain and white only for the nice new, and same thing with the toilets. So what they did was they eliminated public water fountains and public toilets, period, so that they didn't have to share them with black folks.
Wow.
Oh, we
Pathetic.
went to a laundromat.
Oh, yes!
And it had 2 doors, right?
Yeah.
2 sides to the laundromat. One side says white, one side said colored. Roselyn thought this was a great idea because put all the white stuff on one side and it wouldn't get messed up with stuff from the colored side. People looked at us like we were crazy.
And I was announcing this at Broadcast Voice. As I took all my white clothes over to the white side, but all my colored clothes over to the colored side, and told everybody there exactly what I was doing. They all looked at me like I was out of my ever-loving mind.
But you did it.
I did.
Of course you did.
I'm
She went
rather
back
outrageous.
in 1974 and to go to an American Anthropology Convention. I couldn't go. I was
Back down to New Orleans. We were
She went
teaching
back
up
to
in
and she went to see
Michigan.
Margaret Mead because Margaret Mead was one of her idols.
Okay.
Not idol, hero.
Heroine.
No, hero. Hero is a woman in Greek mythology.
Oh.
So you do not have to say heroine in order to mean hero. It's male. The males sell it, but they can't keep it for themselves.
We took it.
Women are heroes too. So there you go.
There you go.
Anyhow, she was one of my heroes, and I had read all of her books, and I had never seen her in person. And she was at the anthropology convention, and David and I were teaching. Well, I was a substitute teacher for anthropology when they couldn't find anybody else, and David taught too. And well, I don't have a degree, any kind.
Okay.
I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't have any kind of degree. I don't even have an AA. I just read a lot and learned a lot and do what I want to do. So they had me teaching because I could.
Right.
And so I could come down to the convention because I didn't have to go stay to a class. Well, David was stuck teaching his 3 classes a day, so part-time, right? 3 classes a day is part-time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's a lot of work,
Of course.
And so another one of his teachers managed to get someone to take his classes for him, and he came down. And I brought our 2 older children. The 2 younger ones hadn't been born yet. And 3 of their girlfriends on a big red school bus that had half of it cut off with a Dutch door there, and the back of it was like a stage, you know. I don't think we ever used it for that, did we?
I don't know. You guys were up there swinging around on it.
Yeah, well, it had posts on the end of it.
Yes.
Dangerous.
And they would be driving down the highway, and we would swing out on it, on that post. And I guess somebody told on us, or you looked out in your rearview mirror and saw us. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But he started
Anyhow, she
getting
got
real.
an argument with Margaret Mead.
Wow.
Yeah, she told me that black folks that lived in ghettos didn't play with their children, and I went, I live in a ghetto. Everybody plays with their kids. What are you? And she told me that I was prejudiced because I told her she was wrong about that I lived in a ghetto and I knew that black folks played with their kids. She says it's in the record.
It's in the literature.
It's in the literature.
That's right.
And so after the thing, I went back to go to the bathroom. This lady comes in from Chicago, and she says, you know, you're right. I'm a social worker in Chicago, and black people in the ghettos play with their kids. I said, well, come on with me. You go tell her. She can't call you prejudiced. And so the woman came with me to tell her, and Margaret Mead dismissed both of us, you know. Wow. So I was just heartbroken. They were good. Another hero.
Yeah.
Smashed on the floor.
Antiquated.
Hey, I want to play my other instrument. I want to play.
Tell us what it is.
It's an African bass version of the finger pianos.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sound.
And the song I'm going to do is a. How does this pick up? Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Right.
good.
My voice still okay?
Perfect.
Okay, very good.
You're perfect.
I can't argue with that. Anyhow, this instrument originates in Africa. My first version came from Jamaica. Some blues musician friends of mine had a band, and they were getting a new bass player, and the new bass player didn't have a bass. And I had a Fender bass that I was learning to play. So he asked if he could borrow my Fender bass. And I'm going, and he said, well, look, this kid is from Jamaica, and he has this box, and, you know, it's sort of like a bass.
Right.
And it's sort of like a drum.
Yes.
So, you know, like when he gets his new bass, you know, you can trade back. Well, he either never got a new bass or he disappeared or whatever with mine. But I didn't feel like I had lost anything at all. So we were playing with it, and I was trying to think of a song or something to do with it. And I was taking a folklore course at Wayne State University, and I was looking up some riddles, some African riddles that my stepfather from Arkansas had learned as a kid and taught us as kids. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find them.
Okay.
But I did find the riddle Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. And that sounded like a chorus to me. So Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee.
Right.
Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. So then I started figuring that, okay, I will put the ones that I know to that. And then we had a friend who played congas with us sometimes, and he said, oh, well, why don't you use some good old Detroit riddles to add to it, too? So, and then the kids came in, and they were contributing riddles. And needless to say, all of those are dirty.
Yeah.
But I asked people to see if they can guess them. And sometimes you can see, looking at guys, that they got it, but they won't admit it because they're usually there with their girlfriend or their wives at the show, and they won't want to tell them what was said.
Right.
So, shall we do it?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. 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 Well, I smoke a boo all day, I smoke a boo. Bamboo boo goo, luncheon at the junction. Bamboo boo goo, breakfast at the Y. Bamboo boo goo, pass the bloomer pudding. Bamboo boo goo, get the witches high, get the witches high, get the witches. Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. 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 Well, I smoke a boo all day, I smoke a boo. Bamboo boo goo, luncheon at the junction. Bamboo boo goo, breakfast at the Y. Bamboo boo goo, pass the bloomer pudding. Bamboo boo goo, get the witches high, get the witches high, get the witches. I went all the way around Willie Wee Wacker. I saw Bob Backer, so I called Tom Dacker to chase. Called Tom Dacker for the chase Bob Backer. I called Tom Dacker for the chase Bob Backer. Called Tom Dacker for the chase Bob Backer. All the way back around the Willie Wee Wacker.
All the way back around the Willie Wee Wacker.
Yeah, all the way back around the Willie Wee Wacker. Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. 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 Well, I smoke a boo all day, I smoke a boo. Bamboo boo goo, luncheon at the junction. Bamboo boo goo, breakfast at the Y. Bamboo boo goo, pass the bloomer pudding. Bamboo boo goo, get the witches high, get the witches high, get the witches high. I went all the way around. Oh no. I stepped out on my half-a-sample hill, took my Haley Daily, hit me down my fumble. I see a flag day.
Flang dang,
I see a flag day.
flang dang.
I see a flag day pulling Frosty through the crack. I see a flag day pulling Frosty through the crack. Flag day pulling Frosty through the crack. I see a flag day pulling Frosty through the crack. Chip Cherry Beer and Cedar Bee. 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 David and Roselyn, Autumn and Stormy, AD. And you are listening to
WSLR.
Louisiana Gumbo Show. We're truly honored by your presence here this evening. Wow, what a wonderful surprise! We wish we had known you were coming. A little more advanced knowledge. We would do it. We'll set up a concert next time for your next visit.
Yeah,
because we have a great concert venue right on the other side of the
we
studio.
came through that. It
Okay,
was beautiful.
yeah, and you all would be perfect for that.
Okay,
absolutely
so
perfect.
We'll definitely have to get us booked in for that.
How long you all?
In the meantime,
How long are you in town for?
oh well, we're supposed to. Our plane tickets say April 1st, and we've got gigs in New Orleans I'm playing with the Nightingales for the French Quarter Fest.
Ingrid,
and I have to go. Yeah,
Ingrid Lucia.
Yeah, I'm on that that compilation album too.
Nice.
And
so you'll be here through the weekend?
Yeah, we'll be here too this
Yeah,
weekend.
I know Crawfish Monica wants to get maybe a house concert together,
she was talking
perhaps.
about that.
So maybe we can get that together.
Monica, why don't you call us up and tell us what's going on? Tell us if we're doing it and where we're going to do it.
I know they're listening. You know, it's Marco, her husband's birthday tonight.
Oh,
Mardi Gras Marco's birthday.
Yeah, well, happy birthday. We're not going to take the time to sing one, but happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Erica's beautiful daughter here, Maeva.
Eva?
Maeva. Maeva. We call her Mai.
Okay.
That's easier than trying to get her name. And she does a really neat cup song.
Cup song for Maeva.
My seat and my microphone, and you are going to have a treat.
Live on Louisiana Gumbo Show, the cup song for Maeva. It's all yours.
Welcome into Tahitian.
I'm sorry?
It means welcome into Tahitian.
Okay. Get right up there. Special guest tonight.
I got my ticket for the long way round to buy the whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some to company. And I'm leaving tomorrow. What you say? When I'm gone. When I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I got my ticket for the long way around, the one with the prettiest of views. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got sights to give you shivers. It sure would be prettier with you. When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk, you're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
How cute. How good. How beautiful. Wasn't that beautiful? Erica, you got a future star on your hands.
My eldest, too.
Yeah.
My sister plays the ukulele.
And sings.
So you got a little band.
She's starting to teach me.
Cool. So you have a little band. You have great mentors here with David and Roselyn as well. Sound like you picked up something from them.
No, she's teaching us that, and we haven't learned it yet.
Okay.
And she's had a whole week to teach us, and we haven't got it down yet.
Wow.
We've learned the song, but that cup.
You guys haven't practiced.
That's true. We haven't.
Haven't practiced. He knows the virtue of practicing.
Yeah.
This is a good thing to know when you're 8 years old.
Beautiful. That was so nice. Thanks for...
Tell them what your name is again.
Maeva, it means welcome in Tahitian.
Nice. So...
Maeva was conceived in Venezuela, but we heard the name Maeva when I was pregnant with my first child, who's Antonia, and we always thought we would have a child named Maeva, but we had to wait
okay.
about another 7 years for Maeva to come along.
Nice.
7?
That's right.
Wait, 27
years older than you. That's right. You're 7, she's 14.
She's 8.
Well, okay, she's
Yeah.
8, 7,
So it's
okay,
6
6, so
years.
Hey, it's all good.
You need to study math.
Don't be rude to
It's
your
all
mom.
good. It's all good.
So
Yes.
I'll just mention, this is Maeva Ginsberg-Klemmt. David
Yes.
and Roselyn are my guests,
Yes.
and I met David and Roselyn in Laguna Beach, California, when I was around 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
And we have gotten together on 3 or 4 different continents.
Wow.
Hamburg, south of France, Santa Fe, Connecticut, New York,
California, of course.
California, of course, New Orleans, and I would like to make it an annual pilgrimage. I hope that you guys will come and stay with us more often and every year.
Well, if we get booked for this, the Saratoga Folk Festival.
Sarasota, honey, not
Sarasota.
Saratoga.
What are you wanting to do?
What do you know?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it means?
Is that all right?
Of course. Please do.
now. Oh, you should have seen me. She left me in New Orleans years and years ago because she had to go up north. And I needed to make as much volume as I could on the guitar.
Right.
So I always used a thumb pick, but I said, oh, I'll use finger picks. Man, those finger picks went flying all over the place.
Yeah. So you got a permanent
I'm pretty
fixture.
well tamed now, but
Yeah.
I still lose one every now and then.
Very neat.
But,
Very unique. Never seen that before.
You ever saw my mandolin before?
No, with this 5-finger pick.
It's only
It's
four.
only
Four, excuse me.
3 fingers in a thumb.
Okay.
John.
Somebody else needs to practice their math.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a minute.
All right. This is for all those people.
I'm tuning.
Roselyn.
Like Crawfish Monica, who lived in New Orleans
Yeah.
and came here.
Yeah,
They still miss New Orleans.
they do.
Yeah, so this is for them.
Cool. Happy birthday, Marco.
Amen.
Why didn't you invite us to that party?
Because we couldn't be here.
That's right.
Sure we can.
Roselyn on mandolin, David's on guitar and harmonica. Live.
She's now,
Louise.
Tuning is not a city in China. It's an act.
It's an act
our
of
studio.
kindness. Tuning is an act of kindness. To my ears and nobody else.
Yeah.
Magnolias in bloom. Soon I'm wishing that I was there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? When that is where you left your heart. And there's one thing more. I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans.
A Creole tune that fills the air. And what's worse, the friends who are no longer there. Do you know what it means
to miss New Orleans? Hey,
that is where you left your heart.
And there's one
thing more. I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans.
Yeah, David and Roselyn live. here at WSLR. Wow, we really appreciate you coming in tonight. It sounded so nice, so nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Sometimes when I'm singing that song with David, I get really emotional because of Katrina and all this stuff, and friends that just...
I wanted to ask you about that.
Some friends...
You better hurry up, man. You ain't got much time left.
No, yeah,
some friends we know are all right, but some friends we've never seen since, and we have no idea if they're alive and just, somewhere else, or if they're not.
Right, the unknown.
So the ones that we know are good. We're happy about. I wish they come back to New Orleans and listen. But
yeah, it's a changed town, right? What do you think about the difference between before and after?
Well, I'll tell you. In New Orleans, we're at the confluence of the Caribbean environment and the Arctic environment.
Yes,
and it goes back and forth. This spring, we don't have winter anymore. We have a series of short winters.
Yes.
And then
they're just as miserable.
And then it gets cold and icy again. We had ice on our porch.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Leave the shirt.
Yeah.
Pick it.
Hank Williams, was it? No. Who was it that played with Satchmo? On his CD, on his record.
Yeah.
That was way before LPs even back then.
Yeah.
I can't think, but
oh well.
Yeah.
Somebody will call up and tell us who it was.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he's really famous country and western.
Jimmy Davis.
Thank you.
Okay.
See, I knew
Okay.
Yeah, the Satchmo. They did. And
Satchmo's playing
Jimmy
on
Davis kept going over top of Satchmo's fills. Listen to it sometime.
I will.
But it sounds good. Everybody loved it. I mean, it was a hit record.
And but we got cowboys down there, black cowboys.
Yeah.
Zydeco.
When cowboys were first here, they were the Spanish caballeros, and then when they were using with slavery, all the cowboys were black because it was awful work. There's a word for it, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Anyhow, the first bulldogging was done by a black man. The first rodeos were all black. And actually, in Louisiana, they still have a mostly black rodeo, but they're all prisoners from Angola. And we see the white culture, the black culture, the Spanish culture, the German culture, and the Creole. Now, technically, Creole means native-born with a
first generation
native-born with a French father and a Indian or black mother. Those were the first Creoles.
Okay.
And then they brought the casket girls in from France because the church was upset with all of the fact that all of the males in New Orleans were cohabitating with slaves and Indians, so they thought they should have some nice white ladies. So, but the thing is that the French firstborn sons inherited everything. So if the firstborn son happened to have been Creole, then he got the plantation, he got everything. And if the white sons didn't.
Okay.
So, but then they would intermarry again. So you have a lot of, quote, white families in Louisiana who actually have black forebears or black and Indian forebears.
Right.
But they like to pretend, and we let them. There was a woman I remember, how long ago was it? She went to get her birth certificate so she could get a passport because she wanted to go on a cruise. And when she went to get her birth certificate, that was when Louisiana still had race on your birth certificate, and it said that she was colored.
Wow.
She was outraged.
Sure.
It seems that in Louisiana, if you are 1/8 black, you are black.
Okay.
And There's nobody in Louisiana who is not 1/8 black,
Right.
even if they lie and pretend they are. But 1/8 means that out of the 8 grandparents, only one of them had to be black.
Okay. Right.
And not very black.
Right. They didn't have to be very black. They could be 1/4 black, 1/2 black. I mean, you look at my grandkids, and none of them looks black. If you
One of them looks Tahitian.
yeah, one looks Tahitian, and the others all look white. So
Yeah.
except that they grow their hair into dreads because they don't want anybody not to know that they're black.
Interesting.
I think it's fun.
We really appreciate you coming in to play tonight. I wish we could
last song for you?
I wish you would. Yeah, one more. I got to make way for Stephen in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wish we could do this even more.
WSLR.
We got to do it again. We got to.
Yeah.
Please come back.
Thank you very much.
Really.
We'll send you some CDs.
Yeah.
Some real ones.
We'll play. I play on the show as always. So.
So I think it's interesting that you've got to give us the name of that so we can
I
find
will.
out if they owe us money. That would be fun.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, I
You
will.
want the guitar?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that would be nice.
I think that's a great idea.
And why don't I play an original again?
Okay. Someone called it. Was it Jimmy Rogers, not Jimmy Davis?
Jimmy David.
Jimmy Rogers. Jimmy Rogers.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks, Daddy-O. Daddy-O
Jimmy
called
Rogers.
it.
Jimmy Davis
Davis is
wrote
the governor of Louisiana.
"You Are My Sunshine," and somebody told me that he wrote it for a horse, but somebody else says that's a myth and not true. So
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Got time, one more. David and Roselyn, honored by your presence here tonight. Thanks to Erica, Akeem, Maeva for coming in as well. So much. Love the cup song. It's beautiful.
Chicken in the car, but the car won't go. That's the way you say Chicago. My daddy used to tell me that when I was a kid. Wish that I could get away like daddy did to Chicago. Whoa, whoa, Chicago. Chicago. Chicken in the car, but the car won't go. That's the way you say Chicago. My daddy used to tell me that when I was a kid. Wish that I could get away like daddy did to Chicago. 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 Grandmama would tell me that my dad was a mess. He'd take me in the outer room, get me dressed. We'd go out and we'd get in his car. I'd say, hey, Daddy, are we going far? He'd say, Chicago. I'm gonna take you to Chicago. They're gonna love you in Chicago. Music is free in Chicago. Swinging town, chicken in the car, but the car won't go. That's the way you say Chicago. My daddy used to tell me that when I was a kid. Wish that I could get away like daddy did to Chicago. Find my daddy in Chicago. We'll be so happy in Chicago. Music is snappy in Chicago. Swinging town. One day, Daddy, he went away. One of these days I'm getting on down to Chicago town, to Chicago. Find my daddy in Chicago. We'll be so happy in Chicago. People are free in Chicago. Swinging town, chicken in the car, but the car won't go. Chicken in the car, but the car won't go. Chicken in the car, but the car won't go. That's the way you say Chicago. 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 I could have,